Okay. See, exception handling package I'm creating. Exception. Okay. So create a new package. So the package name you can give exception handling programs. Exception handling programs, and you can give finish. So first I'm creating a arithmetic exception demo. So create a class arithmetic exception demo. Don't give arithmetic exception. This is already existing class. So give your own class name. So take the main method, click on finish. You should not give arithmetic exception is the class name because already that class exists. It is created by Java already. We should not give. Okay. So declare int a equal to 25. So b equal to just b. I'm just declaring. I'm not so using anything. Okay. So I'll just put some statements. Performing mathematical operations. Suppose if I do int result equal to a by b. So we have to make it a static, right? You're using a, so a and b non-static means it doesn't work because you're using in the main method. Main method, if you want to use a non-static, you have to create object. But so without no object, I can use a static. I'll make the static both a and b, so I can use directly. Now this a by b output is result. So next I'm doing int sum equal to a plus b. So multiplication of a comma b is plus multiplication. So int sub equal to a minus b. See, all these lines of code is executing or not, you observe this. Subtraction of a comma b is can give sub. Okay, so these are all the lines. So many lines of code we have written. See whether the code is executing or not. So just run this program. What is happening? You see this. So performing mathematical operations. So what is the one exception in thread main? Java.lang arithmetic exception divided by 0. This is the default message of your arithmetic. Why you are getting arithmetic exception here? So which line you are getting? You can see here. Line number also you can see. Which line number you can see? See. Which line number? Line number 8. See, 8th line is highlighting. If you click on this, it will highlight 8th line. Why it is throwing this exception? Because A is 25, B is 0. You're dividing a number by 0. That's what you're getting. Then I'll enclose these 2 lines because these 2 lines are relevant. One other the dependent. This line you want to execute, you need this one. 8th line should be there. So these 2 lines are throwing an exception. So I'll put surround with a try catch blocks. See, so select the lines, which line you want to place in the try block. So then I'm putting a try catch block. See that? So only that lines I kept in the try block. So here I'll put a arithmetic exception. I know my exception class name. That's why I'm putting arithmetic exception AE. So AE dot. See, I told you print stack trace. It will print the complete stack trace. So the catch block starts here. Arithmetic catch block, arithmetic catch block starts. So write that arithmetic catch block start so that you can understand where the cursor is going. And if you want messages, so you can write the messages also. See, the simple you write SYSO, exception messages. You want to get the exception message, you just write AE dot get message. So if you want, so exception message, exception cause, you can get AE dot get cause method is there. You can see that. So all methods you can get AE dot print stack trace method. So this is available in the root classes. So throwable class something, right? See, throwable class, it is available. So this is the root class. So you can use in all the child classes. So now see the rest of the code. So after try catch blocks code. So I can put a finally block also. See, finally block. I can write a finally block also here. See, after try block catch. See, after try catch, after try block catch block, then I'm writing a finally block. So write something. Always. So I'm writing some statements. Finally block is used to do cleanup activities. Cleanup activities. See, now the rest of the code will execute for you. Now you can execute the rest of the code. Let's try finally, right? After this, first the line again, this line it will throw error, but still your code won't stop there. Before adding the try catch block, it was stopping there only. Rest of the code wasn't executed. But now when you add a try catch block, the rest of the code will execute. See, even the exception occurs also, the rest of the code will execute. See? Arithmetic catch block. See, here the error occurred. Here the error occurred. Directly put to catch block. See, catch block message, catch block cause, and the print stack trace, everything printed, and the finally block. So after catch block, it is going to finally block. The catch block, this is the exception, right? The print stack trace is throwing the line number 9, you are getting an exception. This is the line number 9. So this is giving, you are dividing a number by 0. That's why you are getting arithmetic exception. And the next finally block is executed. Catch block after finally block is executed. Even the exception occurs also in the try block. This is not executed. If particular line got an exception, the below lines of in the try block doesn't execute. So this line doesn't execute it because here you got an exception here. That's why the rest of the lines in the try block doesn't execute. And now finally block executed. The rest of the code is started executing. This code is started executing after try catch block. This code is after this one, right? After finally block. So this one, 20th line. Then the sum, then multiplication, then subtraction. So all these lines of code executed successfully. Before it didn't execute. Why it is executed now? Why it is executed now? We added the which line is giving an exception. That line we put in the try block, and a catch block we added, and finally block. So finally block is optional. If you want, you add. Otherwise not required. But try catch is mandatory here. Okay. So even the exception occurs, still your code is executed. Now you run in the debug mode so that you will come to know very clearly. So how to run a debug mode? Put it in the put it in the line. This line you put it in the toggle breakpoint first. Then run this debug as Java application. So debug as Java application switch. It will come and stop in the 7th line. It will come and stop on the 7th line. So then you execute this line. This is the step over. Click on this. Now it is this 7th line executed. Now 9th line we got a problem. So now we'll see where it is jumping. 10th line won't execute. It is going to catch block now. See, input to catch block. So 10th line didn't execute because you got an exception at 9, so it is jumping. See, all the catch block is executing. All the catch block is executing. Then finally block also. All finally block also executing. Now finally block after all the lines of code, line by line code is executing. So this is the how code will execute for you. So this is how you can click in debug mode. Okay. So where it is going and how it is executing, you can check in the finally block. And all the code how it is executing. You remove this and switch back. Now in the debug mode, you switch back to Java perspective. That's it. You can come back to normal mode. So this is now I can give a B value. See, if you give the B value, see what is happening. Now we execute. Catch block won't execute now. You can see A by B output. See, this line is executed. Now catch block is not executing directly. If try block is successful, directly jumping into finally block and rest of the code. See, catch block is not executed. That means if there is no error in the try block, catch block won't execute. The cursor doesn't go inside the catch block. See, no statement executed of the catch block. So try block after, directly jump to finally block. So that means finally block is executing in all cases. Exception occurred case also finally executing. Exception not occurred case also finally executing. That means finally block code gets executed always. Then rest of the code is executed. The rest of the code is all code is executed. You can see this. Okay. So this is the arithmetic exception demo. Any questions? No. So let's move on. Null pointer exception. Can catch. Okay. So null pointer exception now. So I declared public class null pointer exception demo. So don't give null pointer exception. Null pointer exception demo you give. So I declared the private static string yes equal to null. And I created one method. So this method will find the length of the string. So system.out.println find the length of the string, and so to find the length, we have a length method in the string class. S.length method you need to use, and that you can store in the this variable. Then you can print the length variable, and it will print. Then I'm using a, suppose I didn't use this, I'll assume as of now. So system.out.println working with the strings. I'll remove all this so that it will be easy for you to understand. Okay. So now you can observe this. I'm joining string s equal to s dot concat method selenium. So s value is null. There is no value. But on that s, I am calling this method. Again, here also in the length method, I am calling on the null variable the length method. On the null variable, you are calling the methods. That's why it will throw null pointer exception. So null, see these statements and this method I am calling the length method here. So calling the get length method. Get length method. Calling the get length method. Calling the get length method. See. Now, what is happening? Observe now. Just execute this. So where you are getting a, what is the problem you are getting? String exception in thread main, null pointer exception. Which line? See which line you are getting. Line number 18. Line number 18 you are getting. So why you are getting here? S value is null. On the null variable, what you are doing? You are calling the method concat method. So on the null variable, if you perform any operation, it will throw a null pointer exception. It will throw a null pointer exception. That's why on the null variable, see now still S is a null only. So you're getting a null pointer exception. That is the reason. See if I add a try catch block. Now I will add a try catch block. Okay. So let me add a try catch block. Right click, surround with a try catch block. So we are surrounding with the try catch blocks. So maybe I'll add this. Okay. Try catch blocks. Okay. See, I added. So this, because these are all throwing exception. That's why all those things I added here. So null pointer exception. So that I added. So NPE is the object reference I have given. NPE.get message, NPE.print stack message I have put in the catch block. In the finally block, just one statement I have written. Then remaining statements. So now the remaining statements also will execute now. Because you added the try catch blocks. Even the exception occurs here, the rest of the code will execute. But these two lines won't execute. Because here you are getting an exception. That's why rest of the code won't execute. See, your rest of the code is executed. Working with the strings, catch block starts. See, catch block is started. So here you got an exception on the 19th line. See, 19th line, you got an exception, null pointer exception. Because when you will get a null pointer exception, if the variable has a null value, then you will get a null pointer exception. So that's why you're getting a null pointer exception. And the finally block code, catch block code, finally block code, and the rest of the code is executed. See, all the rest of the code is executed without stopping. So the main advantage you need to catch here, if you add the try catch blocks, even the exception occurs on particular line, the rest of the code will execute smoothly till the end of the line. You can execute. That's the main advantage of exception handling. Other than that, nothing. Okay, that's the main reason. So now you add here a value. So we add the value. Now I'm giving a value for S Java. So that means now what will happen? This null will replace with Java. Now you won't get a problem here, right? There is no null now. Java is there. So Java Selenium will print here, and the length it will find out and it will print. So now catch block won't execute. See, now try block is successful. See, try block is successful. Find the length of the string is 4 and directly jump to try block after finally block. Catch block not executed now. The reason is try block is successful there. Try block is successful. That's why finally catch block is not executed. Finally block gets executed. Then all these lines of code is executed. All these lines of code is executed. So this is the how you can execute the any exceptions occurs. You add a try catch blocks. Okay. Now next one, number format exception. So suppose there is Java. So, and I'm just handling try catch blocks. See what will happen is this. So alphabets are there in your variable that you are trying to convert a string object into primitive data type format. So that if you want to do, you have to write int val equal to wrapper class dot parse int method string object you have to. Now I'm string object is yes. I'm giving yes. Now this line will throw number format exception. You can see this. See, for input string Java, it is throwing a null pointer exception. So line number also it will show you. So line number also it will show you. Line number is say 13. 13th line number it is throwing for input string Java. It is throwing a number format exception. Even though if you add try catch blocks, see if you add a try catch blocks, so surround with a try catch block. Okay, you surround with a try catch block. Even if you surround with a try catch block also, but this line will continue, but the rest of the code will execute. That's it. Other than that, nothing. Okay, so let's execute this. The rest of the code will execute. Still, number format exception will be thrown. See, rest of the code is executed. Before this was not executing, right? After adding the try catch blocks, the rest of the code is executed. But if there is a numbers here instead of alphabets, number in string format, then can convert into integer format. See, now you won't get any so exception. See, it is successful, converted successfully, string in number in the string format. So you will get the so integer primitive format. Then you can do all the operations that you want. So this is how number format exception. Even we have seen in Selenium number format exception how we solve it. So those things you can handle with the try catch block. You want to continue further, but try to solve them. Even you add the try catch block also, you try to solve those issues. So that is the try catch blocks. Then next one is single try multiple catch blocks. See here, single try block, multi catch blocks. Single try multi catch blocks. Let me catch all these things. Single try multi catch blocks. So I was dividing with a 0 here. So that's why you're getting a problem. See what is happening. Single try multi catch, one method I created, that method I am calling in the main method. See, let's call this. See, you got a arithmetic action first. So line number, which line number? Here, just and this line number is eighth line number. See here you got, see, because you are dividing a number with 0. Now what I'm going to do, I will add the single try multi-catch blocks. Single try multi-catch blocks. Surround with try multi-catch blocks. So I'll just include the one I added. Okay. See, so even the error occurs also, I will continue. And here also, so why I am going to get here arithmetic exception, here array index out of bounds exception. That's why first catch block is arithmetic exception, because you are dividing a number with 0. That is the reason you will get a arithmetic exception. But you are entering more than the size. Your array size is 5, but you are entering in the 6th place. That's why you will get a array index out of bounds exception. Other than these two, any other exception occurs, this will handle. So generic class. So generic class will handle a catch exception. So this is the one, and finally block. You can, so you want to execute any code, you can use finally block. So see, out of so catch, try catch, finally blocks, you are iterating the array, and you can print that, right? So this is what we are doing. See, one try multi catch blocks. When you can do that in your code, in your try block, there are multiple exceptions might occur. Then you can use one more than one catch blocks. So each, but at a time, one catch block only will execute. At a time, only one catch. Now see here, arithmetic exception. But remaining two catch block won't execute. Only this catch block will execute. So then, if you solve this, then there is a array index out of bounds exception. Then this catch block only will execute. The rest of the catch blocks won't execute. So if you even you have a multiple catch blocks, but one catch block only will execute at a time, not more than that. So see that. See, catch block starts here, arithmetic exception catch block divided by 0. So arithmetic catch block only executing here. This arithmetic catch block only executing. So remaining code also executing. See, remaining code finally block is started. Finally block is executed, and array is printing, but all zeros, because the values are not set, right? So it is exited here itself. 9th line itself exited. That's why all zeros are set. 5 zeros. That's why 5 zeros. Now I'll solve this. Okay, I'll solve this. See, next, what is the exception you are going to get? The exception you are getting now, what is the one? Array index out of bounds. Which line? See, line number. So line number 14, because you are entering more than the array size. 6th place you are placing 60. That's why it will throw array index out of bounds exception. So remaining code is executed successfully. See, now array also printed. All the values are printed now. So this is the, now I'll solve this also. See, now you won't get any exception, and try block is successful, and all the code will execute successfully. No catch block will execute now. See, no catch block is executed. So try block nothing print statements. So directly jump to finally block, and then rest of the code is executed. So this is the one try multi catch blocks also you can write. That is also possible. And last one, so throw and throws keyword demo. Throw and throws keyword demo. So private static void validate age. You have to give an input to this method, and you can see. So let me show you this. So if age is less than 18, throw new arithmetic exception, not eligible to vote. So else thread dot sleep. I added the thread dot sleep. I added a thread dot sleep. See, this thread dot sleep is throwing, it is automatically showing a suggestion. Add throws declaration or surround with a try catch block. So I'm adding throws declaration. See, where is adding throws declaration? Throws followed by interrupted exception class. When you add a thread.slip, always you need to add throws keyword followed by interrupted exception class. Okay, then throw is followed by an object or an instance. So when I give 5, for example, now see, when you first, what will happen? The 5 means this is true, right? It will execute this statement. So what is that? Not eligible to vote executed. That means it didn't go else part. Now, if you see that your custom exception message is throwing, if I give 25, see now else part will execute. 3 seconds will wait, then eligible to vote print statement will print. Now this will become false. Directly jump to here. So run this. See, started executing. 3 seconds it is waiting. Eligible to vote is printed because it came to else part. Even you can run in the debug mode so that you can understand how it is executing. Put a toggle breakpoint here, then run in debug as Java application. Then you can run line by line code how it is executed. Okay, so that's all about exception handling. So I'm stopping here.